Hi, I'm Eric Blevins with HyprMX. We're here at Pocket Gamer Connects London, and I'm joined by Harvey Elliott, CEO and founder of Playstack. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Harvey, why don't you tell me when and why was Playstack founded?
I founded it in April 2016, and I've been in the games industry for, I call it 20-something years. The something's quite big now, probably. I won't try the maths. But I wanted to kind of fix the things I thought was wrong with the games industry. So developers need access to funding. They have great games. How do they get them to market? Mobile is incredibly competitive. So how do they cut through that marketplace? If you've got a game that starts to be a hit, how do you scale it? And so I designed Playstack to sort of solve those things one by one. So give them funding, distribution network through Playstack as a publishing partner, and a capital that we can really spend to scale a game's growth. And then everything from there is just ballooned.
Right, right. And were those problems that you identified, were those things that from a first-hand perspective you went through, or was it just something that you observed happening around you?
I wish it was all observation. A lot of it's first-hand. But I worked as at EA for 9 years, was used to working with developers across the world and understanding their problems and their problem sets. I was the chair of the BAFTA Games Committee for 4 years. How you celebrate success, how you recognize great games and great talent, and then you go on and see those games sort of fail to get the market they really deserved. Right. And I also ran a technology company called Marmalade for 4 years, so that was really supporting small developers with great technology to get high performance out of their games. And so combining all of that observation together, I realized there was a gap. There was a gap where people weren't getting everything they deserved from the industry, and great games deserve a great audience. And
so I know you work with Foxglove, as I mentioned. Are you actively looking to acquire studios, or are you focusing more on partnerships and collaboration?
Well, good question. So we did acquire 2 businesses last year. So one we're not going into huge detail of, but later in the year it'll become more apparent. And another was a developer in Finland that we love their capability. They love the technology they developed, and we could see an application for that. So we acquired 2 businesses, put them together in a combined effort, and there's a product coming later this year that we're doing. That acquisition is fairly unique for us because it was about developing technology that would benefit many other products. So it's unlikely, at least in the near term, that Playstack will acquire developers to build a game, because having seen both sides of that, developers need reinforcement in their talent, their creativity, their vision, but that's different to that of a publisher. And equally, I don't want to have a whole mix of first-party studios that we've invested in and kind of really sort of have a different model for than the external teams. So we're not acquiring developers, but we are acquiring IP. We want to help. And I say acquiring IP, that's also the wrong phrase. We're looking to find great games that we can bring to market. Actually, the developers should own their IP, right? They're invested in it, it's their idea. Right. We want to publish it, we want to distribute it, we want to get it to as many people as possible. But that's where the partnership happens. So they own the IP, we publish it.
How do you go about proving that there's what you need in a particular IP or game? What are the metrics and things that you really need to say, this backs it up?
And that's great word metrics, right? So absolutely, we want to look at the metrics behind a game, but if you're meeting a game early on, they won't have the metrics. Otherwise, they probably don't need to meet you. So we have a great team, really experienced across the board. We've met something like 1,200 developers since we started with products we're submitting and reviewing and assessing. We have a head of discovery, Rob Crossley. His job is to meet every developer with every game everywhere, anywhere in the world. So his job. And the great thing is he told someone that was his job. So it's not just me telling him, he's going, my job is to meet every developer in the world with every game.
Sounds like a fun job. Yeah.
Well, it's good. And then we've got a fabulous team at Playstack who review the game. We run a discovery process. So we all sit in a room, we look at the games that are coming in, and we're looking for people to champion the product internally so they can harness the power of Playstack. So our user acquisition analytics, product marketing, all those people rally around a product manager, a product owner. So we're looking for those champions in the business. We look at the underlying metrics, but it's more likely the trends that they're getting. So if it's in an early access release, what the retention's like, if there's any qualitative or quantitative user feedback, and then a whole host of gut feel.
Sure, yeah, there's got to be that element of like, I feel like this is it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and we also want developers we click with. So if you can't enjoy the process of sort of the signing up a contract, what chance have you got of enjoying it at the end where we're in a crunch, trying to get a game out, and that can be painful.
All right, well, before we wrap up, just one question. What pub should I hit nearby when we're done today?
I'm not a big pub person.
No,
no. But I would say that any pub in Britain will be better
than
enough.
That's all I needed.
Pub where you are.
All right, great. Harvey, thank you so much.
Welcome. Good
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.